Okay.
I'm here. So
Sorry, I
no.
had a really hard time seeing the last part. Um,
Mm.
but it was just very bright there, so it's hard to see. I can't.
Mm.
Not sure I have it all, but I definitely will just check in with the Lord again on it. But
Mm.
okay, so the vision starts. I apologize. I think it's me that I just kind of get in the way. Maybe I just can't see things quick enough. So I'm so sorry about that.
No, you don't need to be sorry about anything.
Um, so the vision starts on. This is so interesting to me because there's so many bits and pieces of this vision that I've seen before in
Mm.
just tiny portions, and then they just kind of came together. So anyway, sorry. Uh,
Yes.
it starts out with a train, and this train is on the side of a mountain, and I've seen this train before, and
Mm-hmm.
it's uh, winter time,
Mm-hmm.
and the vision immediately zooms inside to the cart, inside of the, is it called a cart? Is
Mm-hmm.
that what it's called?
Yes.
Inside the cart of the train, and it's a people carrying train, um,
Carriage train.
a
Yeah.
passenger train.
Mm-hmm. Passenger train. Yes.
Hmm. And when we get inside, it's just very nice train. So it looks velvet red inside, but anyway, you are walking inside this cart down the middle, just right down the middle aisle, and you put your hand up to like follow me, like a follow me sign. So it's me that's there with you, and I begin to follow you in this cart, and the train just goes through a tunnel. So right away it's dark. So I'm following you in this dark tunnel, and as we continue to walk, the tunnel lets out into another side of the mountain, of course. And by the time we're let out to the other side of the mountain, we're now in the very front of this train,
Mm.
and we're in the engineer or cockpit or whatever it's called on a train.
The
But it's
engine.
almost like
Mm.
it sort of doubles as sort of like it has a driver's seat. So
Sure.
it's almost like not an old fashioned train, but one of those newer trains. But anyway, you went in and you sat down in the driver's seat, and it had like a big steering wheel, and so you began to drive this train, and it had all the to the right of it had all these buttons and all these gadgets, and you pointed to them and you began to show me how it all works,
Mm.
how to drive this train. You're just pointing at stuff, showing me things, touching things, just directing me on how all this stuff works.
Mm.
So then the train continues on, and up ahead, it's just really bright at first, like it's the snow from the mountains. I don't know if it makes it really bright, and the clouds make it really bright white. But then we begin to head into darker clouds, and there is thunder in the clouds. And once we're inside these clouds, there's just a heavy fog, and the heavy fog goes on for quite some time. And that's part of what was taking so long is that we were on this train in this cloud in this fog
Mm.
for a long time,
Mm.
and I had to kind of just wait till it got out. um,
That's
so
so
the
funny.
train sort of arrives at a like underground train station, sort of like in New York. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Um, like you ride the rail, sort of, and it
Yeah.
ends up and it pulls into this station, but it's underground, and the
Yes.
ceilings are really cathedral high.
Mm.
Um,
Yes.
and when we got out of the train, you could see on the wall. It reminds me of like when people used to tell stories on a wall of the past
Mm-hmm.
with pictures.
Yes.
If that makes any sense.
Yes.
And on this particular wall, it showed our enemy being defeated.
Mm.
So it had this dragon, and the dragon was dying, falling off into this abyss.
Mm.
and it was just in picture form. It was really this beautiful ancient drawings
Mm.
of our past, of past wars and past this, past that.
By drawing
So,
means what style?
just I don't know.
In
It wasn't.
colors,
What was that?
in colors, in
Yes,
okay,
colors.
not painting basically, but drawing.
Yeah, like a painting, like a
Okay,
painting.
okay, okay.
I painted on this wall.
I see. Yeah.
This stone. It was everything in this place was stone.
Mm.
Um, and you had to walk up this huge, like long staircase to get out of this train station.
Mm-hmm.
It was like 3 flights of stairs, stone stairs that you just kind of go up,
Mm.
and because it's underground at this point in the mountain, I suppose it's inside of the mountain.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and as you walk up these stairs, the writing is on the left on the wall as you the drawing
Mm.
on the wall on the left side.
Sure.
So we go up the stairs and we come out. Oh, I forgot to say, this mountain like was representing like coming around the mountain of like Mount Sinai, like coming into the promised land type. And it was like I kept thinking Zion, and I kept thinking like Sinai. Those are things I was thinking
Sure.
when we were
Bef-
coming around this mountain.
Before you move on, is there other pictures on the wall? Able to.
Originally I saw some. I can't see them now. I
Okay.
can't see them now. All I
Okay.
see now is a cliff with a dragon being thrown down into a hole.
Yeah. Okay.
That's all that I see. But there were other pictures before I saw that one.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know what they were. I can't remember now.
That's okay. Yeah.
Sorry.
You came out. You came out on the ground into the
Yeah.
mountain. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's just when before we came into the cloud, the thunder cloud.
Mm-hmm.
Those were things that I was hearing. Just those words. Mm-hmm. So anyway, once we come up these stone steps and we're walking out into the top of the mountain, it's just this place of just mountaintop beauty of I can't even describe it. It's waterfalls and trees and mountains and just mountaintop beautiful just beauty. It's just everywhere, and it's gosh, I wish I could explain it. I'm not very good at detail. It's very much mountain tops.
Yes.
Like if you were to fall down,
mm-hmm.
you would fall a long way.
Yeah.
All this land, all these trees, and all this mountain. They were just like a mountain here, a mountain there, and everything was sort of like connected by bridges and things like that.
Oh yeah.
We were on the side of one of the mountains on a stone path.
Mm.
It was a pretty good sized path. It was pretty, maybe 10, 15 feet wide.
Mm.
And people were on the path. And oddly enough, a lot of the race that were on this path were Chinese.
Mm.
Yeah, I don't know what that was about, but it reminded me of China a little bit, just pictures I've seen of like the Great Wall and like all the mountains and the mist and all this kind of stuff. Really beautiful.
Mm.
Anyway, so the next thing I noticed was very clear to me, which I don't understand, but you were carrying a backpack, but across your backpack was this stick, and on either side of the stick were buckets of water.
Mm.
Yeah. You had this with you. The moment we got out of that tunnel, you had this long stick across your back, and on each side was a bucket of water.
Mm.
No clue what that was. So we begin to walk down this path.
You had no idea when I grew up. I used to carry a stick, carry a bucket of water.
You did?
Yeah. That's my job when I was young.
Oh. My goodness.
We don't have water, right? Don't have underground water, so we have this one well in the center village. So my job to go there to like Rebecca or somebody, and right, to draw the water, and then carry the water back home. That's our everyday water, cooking, washing clothes, everything. So I had to fill up this huge cistern, Sometimes you had to do twice, So before
Wow.
before dinner come around, it's already run out. So my job to fill it up, So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Anyway, so
Wow.
yeah,
Okay. Makes sense now.
yeah,
Okay, so you had that, and as we're along this path, you had the scroll in your hand, and you kind of pulled out the scroll and began to kind of, I'd say it was like, like a regular letter size paper, big, like as far as the width of it went, it was about letter size. But you pulled it out of the scroll, and it kept going and going and going and going until you got to where you were, what you were wanting to see,
mm,
and it was a map on
mm,
this one part of this scroll,
mm,
and you pointed at it, and you were showing me, and then you pointed up to where we were supposed to go,
yeah,
and so then you put the map, you put the you scrolled it back, you rolled it back up into its little scroll, and we went on our journey. And our
yeah,
journey led us a little bit further down this path, a little bit up, and then across this bridge. And this bridge was like rope and wood,
mm,
and it led us to across a gaping hole across to another mountain.
okay,
And it was this really big rope and wood bridge that we had to cross.
mm,
And it went up. And you went first, and I was behind you, and you still had this water thing on your back. And we just crossed it. And then we got to the other side. You pulled out your scroll, and you began to pull it out again like you did before. When we got to the map, you
yeah,
pulled and
yeah,
pulled and pulled and pulled, but then it came out of the holder,
mm-hmm,
and you realized that was the end of it. So you kind of just wrapped it back up and put it in your backpack.
mm,
And that was significant with um, just a minute. With sorry, I lost my train of thought. With the fact that whatever was on that scroll was finished, that was very clear that that was over and that was done. So,
mm,
um, but this new terrain that we were on, um, we stopped right there, and when we stopped there was just doors in front, and the doors opened, and the light that came from these doors was insanely bright. Like I towards this is toward the end of the vision, and I couldn't see because it was so bright. And so after this point, I only saw a few things
mm,
because of how bright the light was. But
mm. I think
from
I
from
I I detect the lies because at one point I saw the Lord. Asked the Lord what's going on because it was quiet, So the
yeah,
Lord said, I mean, I don't know. I don't see things like you guys see, no visual. It's just almost like an impression in the mind. I saw brilliant light all around. So
yeah,
yeah, go ahead anyway. So
yes, exactly.
mm-hmm.
So the light came out from these doors, and I just saw from like a bird's eye, like an aerial view down, and this light just basically like engulfed you completely, and almost like a fire, like it came upon you like a fire.
mm,
And then I just saw a few things, which was your clothes were changed.
mm.
Before you were wearing, I want to say, um, like biblical almost
Yeah,
clothes, like
play garments. Yeah. It's amazing. Normally I don't see things, am I right? As I
yeah,
described, I had to think about it, you know, again, we'll try to catch up what you say, basically, am I right? This one is interesting. It's almost everything described. I can see it ahead of
oh
time.
good, good, because
So
I was having a hard time
yeah,
telling what it looked like.
for example, before you mention the map in the scroll, I already see the map almost. It
Oh
will
wow,
tell you where to go. I said, okay, that's interesting. So then before
wow,
you say the map ended, I know exactly what that means. So anyway, so go ahead. I already saw before you mentioned the garment. I already see I'm
yeah,
wearing biblical garments. I know
Yeah.
exactly what it look like. So, so
Yeah. Perfect. I don't have to
I'm
describe it.
sorry.
Wonderful.
Yeah, no,
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 I'm
no.
so
You
glad.
don't spare your description. I just
Yeah.
try
Oh
to
no, no,
tell
I
you
can't describe it anyway.
in crazy, thinking about those things.
Yes.
Yeah. So go ahead.
But that was changed from the light, and it ended up in a. It was a white garment this time, but it was.
Again, I saw it. So
It was
yeah,
hemmed with gold,
yeah.
really bright, glittery, shining gold, hemmed all along the bottom and up the top, up the front,
Hmm.
and a crown was given. And then he was giving you something, and I could not tell what was being given to you for a while. And it was some sort of treasure, like poured into your like a bag or something, like treasure, like jewels and gold coins, just poured like a waterfall of it,
Okay.
just being poured and poured and poured into it. But that was really hard to see. It was all very, very bright.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's what I saw.
Wow. Well, that's very encouraging, sister. Thank you so much. Yeah, that's very, very encouraging. Thank you, Lord. Yes. I think in reflection, evidently, we were talking about the train, am I right? Before our
Yeah,
conversation.
yeah,
So that's exactly the train I saw in my dream, I believe. So I, but I never imagined I can be a driver. But in one of the other dream, I was driving almost like a chariot. My father, we said, I think the Heavenly Father, I don't quite remember that. Yeah, they were trying to show me how to drive this chariot. Can you believe that? So like an iron chariot, okay? I'm not talking about
yeah,
like a modern day chariot, like a tag, almost like, So um, that's interesting. So anyway, I don't want to elaborate too much. This lot of things you shared is coming together for me. It's very, very, very amazing. So I think two reflections. One is definitely there's um, a company together in spiritual journey. Am I right? So making sense to you. So maybe involved with spiritual discipleship, but not too sure. Okay, I think you know what that means. Am I right? So
yes,
yes. The other is I think it's to do with the glorification process. So the entrustment of a priestly kingly wisdom. Treasure oftentimes represent wisdom. Am I right? So
yeah,
hmm, that's
a lot of it.
yeah. Well, that's interesting. So, but the waterfall, who knows? I carry water. I did that all the time. Besides carrying water, I'd use that to water all the plants we planted in
Mm,
dry season. You understand my point?
yeah,
So I used to do all day long just doing that. So with my father in the fields. That's
wow,
crazy. Yeah. I mean, that's crazy. Those details. That's
yeah.
yeah. Well, listen, I want you to pray for me and thank you. You're such a blessing to me, sister. It's beyond measure. I don't know how to describe it. I don't know how to use word to compliment people, but you understand
Thank
my
you.
appreciation.
Amen.
Okay?
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah.
you.
Go ahead.
Father, it is just a delight. It is an utter delight to be in your presence and to be uh, part of just seeing what you want to show your people. What a beautiful, glorious gift it is, God, and I am blessed to be here with my brother and to be used, Lord, and I'm thankful for his heart and his desire to continually seek you in all seasons. Um, Lord, I just lift up your son to you, God, and knowing there is much has been done, but that there is also much to be done, Lord. And I ask, Lord, as you are drawing him into a deeper company. I'm hearing the word company. I don't know what company means.
Mm.
A deeper company with you. A charge. You're giving him a charge, Lord. Further still, there's just further that you're doing, a deeper, more elaborate work you are doing in your Son, God. And there is just a need for him to hold fast and strong to you, Lord. He has been preparing for this faithfully. I pray continued Lord, I ask that you continue to um, Lord, he is to prepare the way for your coming on the earth and in your people. He is to get ready a people. That is his charge, Lord. That is what you're saying. Make straight the path, ready the people. For the coming glory, to come into the glory. Lord. Hallelujah. Thank you, Lord. I just keep hearing make straight the path.
Make straight the path. Mm. Mana mana senda nama parana iya na mana na iya. Uka nama parana sendigi nama. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Thank you, Lord. I think do not be afraid to speak, prophetic words, whatever. So, go ahead. Thank you, sister. Thank you, Jesus.
I'm just going to say what I hear, whether it makes sense or not, because sometimes I don't understand things. But
The Father told me He's going to speak through you. It's the Father, actually, the Heavenly Father. So, go ahead.
Justice flows freely now. The time has come as once before. To kneel before the throne. Oh. Make ready away, steady, sturdy, strength, um, power, sight. I don't hear anymore right now. That came on really heavy. It's very heavy even now. Like the presence, it's heavy.
Mm.
It's almost like I can't, stand up under the weight of it.
Mm.
Not in a bad way, just really heavy.
Okay. Bless the Lord. I'll release you, sister. Take some good rest. Okay, so and the Lord bless you. The Lord keep you. The Lord make his face shine upon you. The Lord continue to give you freedom of spirit, of bones, of heart. And he continue to use you as a messenger and a voice for him to his people. In Jesus' name. In Jesus' name.
Do you mind if I pray real quick?
Yes.
Just want to thank the Lord. Just want to be thankful, Lord. Just want to worship you, Jesus. Father, I want to be humble, 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 Lord, and ready for your will and your word, Jesus. Thank you, Lord, for your willingness to use the broken people. Thank you for your blood, for your choice to come and give of yourself to us. May our love for you ever, ever grow deeper and deeper and deeper as your love is for ours. Father, can you continue, please, to just wrap us in your love, Lord, so we never, ever are far from you. Yours is the love we desire, God. Nobody else is nothing else, Jesus. Please, Lord, just continue your love of us and us in return. God, we will praise and worship you. Give you all honor and glory. You deserve all, Lord, all of our praise, all of our worship, God. May we sing to you a new song that is everlasting to everlasting. That will never grow weary of putting you in your right place, Lord. On your throne over all. You are God of all things. Let us never forget. Let us never forget where you belong, God. Where you belong on your throne over the whole earth, over the whole kingdom, over the whole universe, Jesus. Where you are, Jesus, is where you belong in all of our hearts and minds. Please, Jesus, teach us that way of living day to day, moment by moment, with every breath, with every blink of an eye. May we see you in your right position so that we may take awe at the wonder of who you are. And your wisdom would fill us, and your knowledge and understanding would never cease to pour over us so that we can be part of what you are doing and saying and moving. That we would be an extension of your hands, your feet, and your eyes, and your heart. We would move when you move and speak when you speak. Our ears would be open always to your words, to your throne room, so that we could hear the Almighty, His majesty, His voice thundering over a people, willing and ready. May we be willing and ready. May our feet be ready to go and steady at every moment and every step, never misstepping, because we are firmly planted in truth. Step by step, every step is in truth. We are no longer a hindered people. No longer weighed by injustice and unrighteousness and deceit and lies. There is nothing that can hold us back from you. Thank you, Lord. Let us live in your presence with fear and trembling and awe and just full of joy, understanding, and peace. It is an honor to live in your presence. It's a blessing to live in your presence. I hope that it doesn't be overwhelming, but just full of thankfulness and a right standing, because you've given us that right standing. Thank you, Lord. That is a given gift, Lord. Thank you.
Yes. Yes, Lord. Continue to forgive us, Lord. Sure. Make us strong, Lord, in you. For in Jesus. Amen. Amen. Well, appreciate this time so much, sister. Bless you. Okay, so
all right, thank you.
bring my blessing to everybody. Okay, yeah. Okay,
yes,
okay. Bye.
all right,
Yeah,
bye-bye.
yeah.